Here we go. Just into Fox Newsroom now. We're watching it together with Colonel Hunt, our guest. It seems that this is hardcore proof that Iran is up to no good.
Yeah, big surprise there. Fox News military analyst and author of The Hunt, Colonel David Hunt, with his take on the situation. Good morning to you, Colonel.
Hi, good morning.
All right, so all these reports coming in. Now we have exclusive video showing these weapons coming straight from Iran to Iraq. No surprise, right?
No surprise at all. What's interesting is the United States government has taken about 3 years to get to this point. 3 years ago, we were saying everyone else with the U.S. government was admitting to Iran's direct involvement in killing Americans in Iraq. Iran's become the superpower of the Middle East with helping Hamas and helping Hezbollah and killing Americans and interfering in Iraq. Now the U.S. government is actually saying it. Odinero, the three-star general in Iraq, said so 2 to 3 days ago, that 3/4 of the Americans being killed the last few months are from Iran. The issue for me, and I wish it was for the U.S. government, is what the hell are we going to do about it?
And what do you think needs to be done?
Well, we've got companies like General Electric and Halliburton, countries like England, France, Germany, Russia, and China that are dealing with Iran financially every day. This government can put some serious pressure on the U.S. companies and with countries that we do business with to stop doing business with Iran until they stop doing this. Going to war with Iran should be the last thing we do. It's a possibility, right. But we're limited because of what's going on in Afghanistan and Iraq. But we can't just let this go by.
Colonel, just what everyone's seeing right now, and unsophisticated military people like myself doesn't know what I'm looking at, but here's what it is. 107 millimeter, these are Iranian-made rockets. One of the key insurgents was captured there. This was found there. This is one of those highlight videos that he used to recruit other would-be terrorists and insurgents. One thing could we do? Could we start arming the anti-government groups inside Iran? Could their cars start blowing up like our Humvees are blowing up, maybe in Tehran, so maybe they won't be doing it in Baghdad?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we just lost his satellite. We're having some weather conditions here in New York City today. But anyway, Brian, I mean, you know a lot about this. This is something that you would like to cover on a daily basis, and you're very knowledgeable about it. What are your thoughts with regard to that?
Well, what Colonel Hunt has also said, and thank you, and Colonel Cowan has also said, is like there are these militant groups who are as upset about the direction of the Iranian government as almost the United States is, and that we are not doing enough to arm them, to support them, and let them create havoc inside Iran. Why don't we just admit these clearly are the enemy of our state, and they are killing our people, and they have these EFPs that are putting these hot molten metal through our soldiers and Marines each day. They say the Iranians are the #1 killer of Americans in the capital. The Sunnis have moved out. The Iranians have moved in with the Shia militias. So I just think maybe the generals in the field are getting frustrated with the political process and are now saying, hey, American press, I'll tell you what's happening on the ground. I'm not going to wait for the diplomats to make the statements. And that's why perhaps why we got this video this morning.
You know, what's interesting to me is, do you remember last summer when the UN was debating all these sanctions about Iran, and Ahmadinejad would continue to, of course, defy the orders, and then they would say, well, yes, here come more sanctions, and well, now there's more sanctions coming down the pike, and maybe we can get these countries on board. That just seemed to never happen.
You're 100% right. And also, Colonel Hunt, I know you were an advocate, as we got your satellite back, of talking to Iran. We had 3 rounds of talks with Iran, and according to the ambassador involved in those talks, things have gotten worse.
Yeah, I'm an advocate of dealing with Iran, my soccer-playing friend. First we talk to him, at the same time put serious economic pressure, do what you're suggesting, which is try to undermine that government, and also the threat of we're going to make a glass factory out of Baghdad, out of Tehran. The problem is we haven't done anything, Brian, to affect Iran since we've been in Iraq. And all Iran's done is become more powerful in Palestine with Hamas, more powerful in Lebanon through Hezbollah, and continues to kill Americans. And we've now got generals, as you just mentioned, finally saying publicly what all of us have been saying. Iran has been killing Americans, a great deal of Americans, and it's got to stop. But we can't just not do anything. This is a July 2007 film you're looking at that's absolute proof. But we've had other proof, as you mentioned, with the EFPs and with the militias that are getting direct support from Iranian government agents.
Colonel, I'm interested in knowing your thoughts. You know, the way time flies, we're going to be to that September deadline where this report's going to come back to tell us whether or not the surge has been working in Iraq. What do you think is going to be the case?
I think we've already heard what's going to be said by both Ambassador Crocker, he's actually the head guy in Iraq, and General Petraeus, who Alan Combs interviewed, did a nice job a couple of days ago with him on radio. That is, where the Americans are fighting, it's going very well. The problem is that the security umbrella that was the mission of this surge, that the Americans would create an umbrella so the Iraqi government, police, and military could operate in and create an environment for their people to live, is not working. Where the Americans are is, but the Iraqi, for example, Iraqi parliament's on vacation, the Iraqi government's still trying to do it, the Iraqi government's losing their Sunni bloc, people are walking out of the cabinet. It's not a good story from the Iraqi side.
Right.
From the U.S. side, it's going well tactically, but that's not the answer.
All right, Colonel Hunt, always good to speak with you. Even when we lose you on satellite and get you back, it's much more exciting. Thank you.
Imagine how red your face was getting as we talked. Our hockey-playing Colonel, 29 minutes after the hour, straight ahead. Ground control to U.S. air transportation. One presidential contender says a total disaster is lurking in the sky. He'll tell us why.
And over 1 million